Good evening. My name is Mark Graves, and for those of you that don't know me, I am the vice chair for the board of directors here at Stained Glass Playhouse. I'd like to welcome you all to the final session of our Halloween Spooktacular that we've been hosting all month. And so our session tonight is going to be hosted by Sammy Campbell. She's going to be teaching us how to do some fantasy stage Halloween type makeup. I think we might be learning how to be a wolfman tonight, as at least part of our session tonight. Sammy, if you don't know, she was recently in a show called Kitchen Witches at one of our fellow community theaters in Kernersville Little Theater, which they did recently at Senior Garden. And so fresh off the heels of that, she's coming out to help us out tonight. We're going to be doing this a little bit differently tonight. She's going to be doing this from home, and so I am going to be looping her in here as soon as I can figure out how. Give me just a moment here, folks. All right, I apologize, folks. We just did this earlier today, but I'm working it out right now. Here we
Hello.
go. Hi, Sammy. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing great.
All right. I have got you guys set up in my bathroom, so we're gonna do it in here.
All right. Well, whenever you're ready, go ahead and take it away.
All right. I'm ready. All righty. Hello, everyone. I am coming to you live from my bathroom. We're gonna be doing some Wolfman makeup today. So I already have my base done. It's just basic foundation coverage. I got my contact in. If you can see it, we're going to be doing kind of like a gash, like a scar. Hey, Janaea. But I am so excited. So let's go ahead and we'll just start jumping over. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to go ahead and start. Ooh, I'm going to lose my palette. There we go. We need to start ourselves more of a wolf-like appearance. So I'm using just a palette, and I'm using a dark brown shade just to go ahead and get a base down for us. I'm going to go ahead and pretty much on my entire face, except for where my, like, around my eyes are, because we're going to be doing something different here. But I am very excited to be doing this. I know Halloween is going to be a little different for everyone this year. So if you are going to be doing things, please be safe. For those of you who don't know me, I guess I should introduce myself. My name is Sandy, and I work primarily with High Point Theater. I do a lot of makeup design work there. And I really, really love makeup. I've been doing it for, gosh, pushing like 10 years now. I did it all throughout high school. Stuff with Spooky Woods, Fountain of Terror, and part of my degree at Lee's McRae was in makeup design. So I'm very excited. So as you can see, I'm just kind of going around my face right now with this dark brown shade. The biggest thing that I can tell everyone is to trust the process. It's going to look a little messy at first, but all good art does. That's what I like to say. Let's see. We're gonna go ahead and start bringing this down on the forehead, and then we'll clean up some of this as we go. But yeah, I'm really, really excited to be here. It feels good to be doing some Halloween things. Because like I said, I know Halloween's gonna be different for a lot of people. We're going to bring it onto our chin. We're also going to be doing our nose too, since we're going to give ourselves kind of a snout for the wolf. So let's start doing that. And so the thing, because this is more for stage, you kind of want everything to be pretty exaggerated. So I don't know, if someone does like a Wolfman in London stage play at some point, let me know. But you kind of want everything to be pretty exaggerated, pretty shaded. And now we're going to do a lighter brown, just to give this a little bit of depth. If my sponge will let me, okay. And we're just going to start kind of blending around the edges. Really get some nice blending in there. That's another big thing. You gotta blend. You don't want to be like harsh line in it, people. Let's see. All right. So we have the basis down. I know this looks a little crazy right now, but it's gonna look so much better in a minute. So next, I'm gonna go in with a more of a flat brush. So something for you people at home. Something that looks kind of similar to this. It's very flat, it's very thin. It's gonna start giving us those hair strokes. And I am just going in with a black shade, and we'll do brown as well. So I'm gonna start at the top and just start making those hair strokes. When it comes to like hair and fur, follow your natural hairline too. I'm gonna be kind of changing my hairline once we get a little more detail into it. But yeah, just kind of follow your natural face shape and your hairline, just because it gives you at least a basis to work off of. So let's do this. And I don't know if I can see comments. I can see comments. Okay, great. If anyone has any questions about what I'm using, products, brushes, let me know. Most of my brushes are either Elf or Morphe because they're really inexpensive. We like to ball on a budget here, folks. So I'm just gonna, let me see, so I can actually show you. So I'm gonna start following that down. And then we'll go, we're also gonna be adding some more darker brown fur strokes and some white in there just to give it that depth, because you don't want everything to look super flat. So again, following my natural face shape, and I'm going to go ahead and start doing the sides. And maybe I'll start on this side because I have the white contact on in this one. So first, also, I really would like to thank Janaea. She should still be in this live stream. She is the one that offered me to do this live stream, and I'm so thankful for her because this is definitely right up my alley. Alrighty. And so we're just going in and we're adding the first strokes. Like I said, just trust the process, because it do be looking messy. Let's see. Hey, my friend Stephanie's in the live stream. Hello, Stephanie. I hope you enjoyed this. So, like I said, still doing the first strokes. This is probably going to be the longest part of the application, just because you do want some thicker lines, and you also want some kind of thin ones just to give you a little bit of depth, and it doesn't make you look flat. So I'm will try to be really quick. And then also with fur, fur tends to go in different patterns. It's not always going to be in the direction. So like down here, I'm going to start bringing some first strokes up and blending those in, kind of doing like a cross kind of look. And I will be doing my neck as well, just to give like a full effect, but like that way you do get, again, some more depth and a little more realism with it. Also, I'm so sorry I've been covering my face, guys. It's hard to do with my And I'm just going to start bringing it along my jawline. Also, have makeup wipes handy. Definitely have makeup wipes handy. You're going to mess up. And honestly, if you do, it kind of works. The Wolfman is not necessarily a beautiful creature, so it definitely works in this instance. So this is what we have so far, guys. And then I'm going to start bringing this up along the cheek line too, where this brown is, just again to give some more fur definition. But I am going to go ahead and start shaping my forehead. So I'll try to do it so you guys can see it. I'm really going to make the lines thick dark here. So essentially I'm changing my face structure. I would always recommend like taking your brush and instead of just doing a brush stroke, like really just like coat it in so it's like one dark line. That way, again, you have some shadow in your face, some more depthness. And especially when you think of the Wolfman, you typically don't think of it as like, you definitely don't think of the Wolfman like you would a unicorn. Like, you want it to be a little more dark, a little more spooky. I mean, it's the Wolfman after all. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and start changing the hair pattern right here. Just to start giving us kind of like a really intense widow's peak. And start bringing it down. And we're also going to start giving ourselves some room to work with our eyebrows here. But yeah, so we're bringing this down. It kind of makes your forehead look a little more like shorter, I guess is a good word for it. Because like if you kind of think of a wolf or you think of some sort of dog, like most of their emotions are like right in their eye area, so that's what we really want to highlight. And so we kind of take away from the rest of the face. And start doing some more brush strokes here. Start doing a little more cross hatching. Here we go. Can't talk today. So while we're on the topic of the Wolfman, I actually, when Danae asked me to do this live, I knew I wanted to do something more fantasy and more, you know, more fairy tale-ish. So like Big Bad Wolf, stuff like that. But I actually got a lot of my inspiration from, it's called the Life is a Sewer podcast. And they just released their Wolfman episode this past week. But these guys like go into like super in detail about like the origins of these creatures, and they're really awesome dudes. But yeah, so that's definitely where a lot of this inspo came from. I mean, the Wolfman's been around for like fucking centuries, and so we're gonna pay some homage to him tonight. Okay, and I'm gonna do the same thing.
We've got a question from Janae. Are you using gel pencils or regular?
So I'm not using a pencil right now. I am using just a regular flat brush, and I'm going in with just regular powder eyeshadow. You can certainly do this with eyeliner. You know, honestly, like eyeliner would also create some pretty like solid lines for you, and it would probably give it a little more depth. And I do have eyeliner, so we'll probably incorporate that. Eyeliner is also going to stick a little longer. But Yes, cream works. The brown that I did is actually from this palette right here. It's just a foundation palette. So that is all cream liquid based. Definitely helps it spread a little easier. Use a sponge, use a blending brush. Like for example, if you're going to use a blending brush, I would use something like this, a little fluffy, and then it just kind of lets you blend it in a little more. Thank you, Mark. Yell at me if there's more questions.
Oh, no problem.
No problem. But yeah, so again, just gonna start working on this part of my face, those hair strokes. And again, I know this looks messy, guys, but trust the process. And then we're gonna start. Wow, I forgot how difficult it is to see when these wet contacts are in. Alrighty, so we're just gonna keep doing that for a little bit. And then I'm going to start going in with some different browns to add into this, some whites as well. Yeah, seriously, if you guys want to know brands that I'm using, anything like that, let me know. Like I said, I try to work with pretty affordable brands when I do makeup like this, just because who has that kind of dough? You know, I don't. I got bills. Alright, so I'm going to take a break on the black for a second. And we're going to go in with another white cream base. Just to go ahead and give us some dimension. And this, guys, this is a little more expensive, but it's so worth it if you do stage makeup. It's called the Anastasia Beverly Hills Lip Kit palette. It essentially has any color you could possibly want in it, and then you can mix them. I use this a lot for bruises because it lasts for like a seriously long time. So let me get this out of the way and I'll start doing the white. There we go. And I'm just going to go ahead and start adding some of that in here. So yeah, just adding some white in. It's already starting to give us a little more depth. And where I would use white, guys, would be the same kind of instance you would use like your highlighter or your concealer. You're using it to highlight certain parts. I certainly wouldn't do this like throughout the entire look because there are certain parts that you want to be a little more dark, a little more shadowed, contoured, if you will. But again, this just gives us some depth. It gives us more fur-like aspects. Same thing with your hair. You're going to have highlights in your hair. So it's the same thing for fur.
Hey, Sammy, when you get a second, could you tilt your camera up just a little bit? We're losing your forehead a little.
Yes, I'm so sorry. There we go.
No, you're fine. Yeah, that's better. Great. Yeah, perfect.
Thank you. All right, so again, still going in with the white just to give us more dimension. And then I'm probably going to start using some brown. Sorry, guys. Brown here in this. All right, so we're getting the white in there. Okay, cool. So I'm going to give the white a rest for just a second. That way we can go in and do some brown. And I'm going to use the same, oops, not that brush there. I'm going to use the same technique that I did for the black, except I'm going to use some cream So I'm gonna go in with this. I went in with this white. I'm gonna go in with this kind of dark brown, almost purpley shade, and then that way this will just give it a little more depth again, and that way it doesn't all look like just one color. So I'm gonna go in. And this is a little too purple, so I'll go ahead and mix this with probably some red, some of this. Yeah. Honestly, purple's kind of fun. I don't know, guys. Maybe we'll purple. And that's another thing too, is you do want colors that are going to show up on stage, or if you're doing more like haunted woods attraction type things, you are going to want things that are going to show up in the dark. So brown does tend to blend in just a little bit with your surroundings, and if it's dark out, it kind of just looks muddy and gray. I am going to go in with some light white. Oh, this is a Maybelline concealer. This is in the shade Tan, and I'm just going to go in and use it as hair strokes. I would love it if it would stand up for me. There we go. So you're kind of just going in between your black and your white, and you're just kind of adding in those brown brush strokes. That way you do get a little more life to it. I mean, see if this will sit here, maybe? No, okay. And then, yep, we're just gonna start mixing that in. And this part, guys, you can be like a little more messy with it, just because, again, you're getting like the base down. And then you can always go in later and add your finite details. And then second, we'll go on to brows. That way you guys can kind of see where this look is gonna go. And I'm just mixing in with my other colors, just to get some variety on the face. I need more. Okay. Go and messily mixing that in. Okay. So now we're going to go on to brows, and then we'll go back in and do some more details in a second. What I am going to do, and you certainly do not have to, I have a clear brow gel, and this is from e.l.f. I think it was like $2, so not expensive whatsoever. And I'm going to go in, and just so you guys can see it, I'm going to start putting my hands upwards, because we're going to go for some pretty intense looking brows. I don't think the Wolfman, I mean, maybe he would, but I don't think the Wolfman would have like perfectly model-esque arched eyebrows. I think he really cares about his looks. I mean, who's to say? He's trying to look good on Halloween, everyone. Okay, and so basically what this does is I'm going to let it sit for just a second, and it's going to dry them down to where they just up and back. I'm going to go ahead and just brush them a little bit just to get those hairs up, and I'll start doing the process. Let's see, my brush today was quite here. All right. So I'm going to go in with some black again. I'm probably going to mix some white in with it, like I did with the just to give it, again, more depth. But what you're going to do first is you're just going to start making your brow lines. So just like that, we're going to make it pretty intense. And actually, while I'm doing this would be a good time to do it. I'm going to take some white concealer. This is from Ben Nye. I've had this for way too long. And I'm going to go ahead and start kind of erasing some of the hair strokes that I did above the brows, just because we do want people to see the Wolfman's like fierce eyebrows. I mean, if he cares about his appearance, he would want you to see him. Same thing on this side. Start blocking that. And then I'm also going to do it under my eyes to give it a little more highlight. And for this, guys, I would definitely recommend, especially because you're going to be highlighting and stuff, I would get a white or a much lighter concealer or foundation for your under eyes, just because you do want that area to stand out. So like that. And then we'll go in and we'll add some hair strokes. There we go. So that's obviously, we have our eye area. So now we'll do the brows. And we're going to just start kind of doing some wide strokes here. So as you can see, we're getting that eye look. And again, I am just going in with the same flat brush that I did first. So there is one brow. I naturally have very thin eyebrows, and the Wolfman probably doesn't. So we definitely want him to have his moment. What I would suggest to you guys is, like, if you can see I'm doing it right here, give yourself some like pretty defined lines for like the front of your brow. That way it obviously looks more dramatic, and they're definitely going to show up on stage more than if you just did regular brows for the Wolfman. So doing the same thing here, I'm bringing that natural line of my brow down more, because my eyebrows do not naturally look like this, thank God. And then I'm just kind of rebuilding the like eyebrow that I already have underneath. Yeah, we're getting somewhere, everyone. Okay, so we got some really intense eyebrows happening right now. Now what we're going to do is to kind of mix in what we've been doing with the fur. I mean, I would assume that the Wolfman's going to look like he's a little bit of a So we're going to go in and we're going to do brown. And then that way we can also start building on the nose, and we'll mix some black in with that. So we got brown. Okay, so we have a lovely unibrow. And then we're gonna go in with a brown eyeshadow, which I am gonna take out of my Morphe palette. This palette is awesome for safe makeup because it just has a bunch of neutrals, and that's kind of what you want a lot of the time. So I'm gonna go in and kind of give these hair strokes some definition. We're going to start bringing that fur line down as well. And like, don't worry if it starts looking muddy, guys. You can always go back in and add more texture to it. You definitely have your base down first. Like I said, you can always do finite details later. So I am just doing that now. We're going to want to start pulling that angle down where the eyes are. But don't cover your eyelid. We're going to be doing that in black. And then you're also going to want to start doing hair strokes just under your eyebrows, just so again it looks like it's going to become like a flawless wolfman. That way there's still structure to it, but it all blends seamlessly together. Okay. Let's go ahead and we'll go ahead and do the snout. That way you guys can kind of get a better visual of what's going on. I'm going to go in with a flush like this. And I'm just going to take my black and I'm going to start doing it on the end of my nose. And I'm going to do it on the entirety at the end of my nose. And then you can kind of start building up how big you want the nose to actually look. I feel like I maybe would have a smaller nose than the Wolfman. Who's to say, honestly? Also, I'm sure the Wolfman does not have a septum piercing or a nose ring, but you never know. All right, and now we're going to start building up the, what am I looking for? We're building up the shape. There we go. And so, as you guys can see, I'm kind of just taking it a little bigger than what my normal nose is, and I'm going to start doing the sides. And I apologize, guys. I'm trying to keep my nose kind of open, or not my nose, my mouth kind of open. So, yeah. All right. So we're starting to get the nose shape. We're gonna go ahead and connect these lines. Then I'm gonna go in with a smaller brush just to get that fine light edge to it. I'm just blending that black in, building it as I go. Especially if you have more oily skin than most, then you're probably gonna want to do that. I'm also gonna go ahead and start doing some brush strokes for hair, just to give us that blend of hair into the nose. We're also going to start bringing the nose hairs out. Start on like the muzzle. So let me pull you guys in real quick. So this is kind of what we're working with so far. So we're gonna start making the like mouthpiece essentially. And again, it's gonna look messy for a minute. It's gonna come together. There we go. Gotta get my contact back in. Okay. Oh Mark, that is so weird. I can like hear myself in your phone.
Yeah, we've been trying to figure that out the whole time, actually.
I just heard it. It makes you feel better. That's the first time I heard it. Okay. So now we're gonna start doing the mouth. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to take the black. And I'm just gonna start a line kind of right on the now. Just like you would. And I'm gonna walk through my top lip, and I'll end up covering the bottom lip. We're gonna start kind of making the jowls right here. Or jowls, what am I looking for? Not jowls. I guess that's part of the puzzle. Jowls is here, isn't it? Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
I didn't study
I don't know,
biology.
not an anatomy major.
As you can see, I'm just pulling. You know, this would be great for a production of Cats. Should have worn my cat shirt instead of my Mothman shirt. I was trying to be sneaky. Sorry, guys, just concentrating a little bit. Okay, so now we have sort of the gap here, and then now we're going to go in with some more white. Okay. And we're just going to add some white. And we're going to start taking away that more flesh color that we have. Yeah. Well, while I'm doing this, how's everyone else doing? Are you looking or feeling as manic as this right now? How are you doing today?
I'm doing fine. I definitely think it's going to be a very different Halloween in most of our neighborhoods.
I know, it's crazy. This year's been wild, like, for many reasons, but it's just been wild.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. So, there's some of the white lines. This is what we're working with so far. Again, we're really looking like we're in a production of Cats, but it'll all come together. This is making me want to just pull out all my makeup and do something. Stephanie, do it! Doing it. I don't know. It's just fun to mess around, you know. Where are we going to go? We're in quarantine, so
Right.
now's the time to look crazy. All right. I'm going to go ahead and start doing a little more detail. Sorry guys, all my brushes are down here. Okay. So I'm going to take a eyeliner brush. It'll look like this. Let me see if you can see that. It's a little angled. It kind of looks like a very small, like, and I'm going to take some eyeliner. I'm going to start doing more darker lines for the fur. So if you look at this is when eyeliner would really come in handy. Just because, like I said, it does give a little more boldness to the black color. Or if you have a white eyeliner, that works too. Really bring out what the shadow is pulling back. Start connecting our eye fur into our mouth nose fur. And the same on the other side of our face. And don't feel like you need to do small strokes by any means. I mean, fur has all different sorts of ways. So does our hair. So definitely cross hatchet, maybe one instead of just one straight line. We're just going in and kind of doing it like this line. The way we have a nice, like, forward looking lip. So, funny enough, for kitchen witches, I actually had to do facial hair every night, and I did a lot of these techniques. So, like, again, start with the base. Because, Mark, you're a really good example of this. I can't necessarily see flesh tone underneath here. You can't see that normally in makeup either. You see it peeking every once in a while, that would just find that it's natural. But yeah, it's a lot of patience with here. We're gonna go ahead and start doing our chin as well. And we'll go in and brown live. We're gonna go in and add whites as well. and browns and everything else. So what I'm going to do for this one is essentially I'm doing what you do like a beard, and I'm going to start just kind of connecting it downward as well. I'm going to leave a little bit of gap because I'm going to put some fake blood. So he just had a wonderful full course, dining experience. And we're going to go in and add more white. Same as we did before, guys. I'm kind of just going in between the black lines that I already have, and I'm adding white to that. So, okay, now we're going to move on to eyes. Essentially, what you're going to do for your eyes is you're going to do pretty much black for the lid. You don't have to with more so this is low smoke from the top. I think it was like $8. Pretty inexpensive. And I'm gonna go ahead and start covering. I'm gonna swap it out too. And we're gonna go under the eye as well. So maybe in for a second. So this is what you're working with right now. I'm gonna go in and darken out like the outer corner quite a bit. Just to give it a little more depth and shadow. And then will do the same thing. But we're also gonna do that star blue on the side. blending that kind of charcoal gray with the black. I'm going to do some white as well, just to give it, again, more dimension. I'm just putting that right in the inner. And that's the using heat gun. Especially under eyes, this part can be pretty messy just because, I mean, again, unless the Wolfman really cares about his appearance, I don't care about his edges that much. I'm just going to do a flat brush, flat little fluffy brush just to do that charcoal gray on my skin. And now we're going to do the white again in the inner corner. And I apologize for the crazy faces, guys. It's the only way to do any sort of makeup around your eyes. I'm going to add a little bit of white powder on there, which is also in this palette, just to set it. That way it doesn't go anywhere. And before we move on to the root, I'm going to add just a few more luster to the eyebrows. It looks like I may have bumped it, which is probably very much what happened because it happened. So now we're going to move on to the wound. Let me show you guys what we have so far. So this is what we're working with so far. We're not done with it yet, and we're not quite done. Really like we're in a production of cats, so I'm going to change that. All right, there we go. All right, so this is the same brush that the lip. This is the side that I'm using all the white for. The other side is for lips. It's to give you like a precise line on your clear lip. But I'm going to be using it to make a spot. So I'm going to go in with this dark. Where did you come from? I'm going to go in with this dark red shade right here. And then we're going to lighten up a little bit with that more brighter red. So I'm going to go ahead and I think if you're going to be blind from a scar, from a wound, it's probably going to be a pretty thick wound. So we're going to thicken this up. This is all first aid. Obviously, okay, so there's the bottom part of it. And we're going to go ahead and start doing the top. Just a little below the eyebrow as well, and a little bit onto the eyelid. Almost lost it. Next, in the center of it, I'm going to add black. Just so obviously that wound is, it shows up as it. Great. And we already had that contaminant in the palette. Right here, it's very like ruby red. I'm going to just brighten that up a little bit. Well, adding, before I do that, I should definitely cover my bottom lip with okay, so I'm going to use my bottom lip. And I'm not going to do black on the whole bottom lip. I'm actually going to put white there, just so, again, it doesn't all look flat in one color. And I'll go back in and kind of do and now I'm gonna put some blood on my lip. So just that wonderful deer, a kid, I don't know. We're gonna go eat a child, you know. Some poor traveler alone in the woods, and I just ruined his day. And then we're gonna darken it up just a little bit with some blade too. Blend that in. So we want it to a little bit. Red on there, so it looks like I've been eaten. Alright, we're getting there. So this is what we're this is what we're working with right now. So that's what the scar is looking like. Ideally, I would have had bangs and but here we are. And then I'm gonna add a little more fur texture, and we'll do this. We'll be done. All right, so now we're just gonna do the neck real quick, and then yeah, we'll be done, guys. So let me go ahead and I'll do the same thing that I did with my face. Hold on, guys, 1 second. I've got you guys like propped up on a bag. Oh my goodness gracious! Hold on. Okay, that's better. Okay, and then you guys can see my neck too. Okay, so I'm gonna go in with this medium tone color, and I'm just gonna start blending that onto my drone. almost there. And you don't want to forget your ears either, guys, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. This will be so very fun to clean later. Oh, also, I guess while we're on the topic of maneuver, I definitely recommend this micellar water. This stuff will take off anything. Stress, your makeup, all of it. It definitely comes in handy, especially if more of a cream-based makeup. Okay. So now I'm going to do the same thing that I did before, and I'm going to just go in and start doing some brush strokes. These can be a little more longer, just so on your neck, you know, if you want to do a really kind of brush strokes, more power to you. The thing is if my hair went this way, I'm making my makeup this way. Just to give a little more direction to all this. Make sure you get the chin. No hard. Don't be afraid to make goofy faces to get it. Okay, and for the bottom part of the neck, you have some brush strokes this way. And we're going to go in with some white. I just remember. All right, guys. Okay. So this is kind of what you're working with. If you decide you should want to do a Wolfman makeup, if I honestly also while we're at it, I would go ahead and I would do just little bit of blending around here. Just to give you a little more detail. I should have gotten like a ketchup bottle or something for blood, because then it also tasty. Yeah, guys, this is basically the finished look. I think for stage, this is perfect. It gives the audience the first that you're looking for. If you're trick or treating, people are definitely gonna know that you're scary.
Right.
I ideally would want to do fangs and more like blood, but quarantine is quarantine. But yeah, that is.
Right. That's amazing.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. This was a lot of fun. Like it's nice just sitting down and
Yeah.
but yeah,
Great. Great. Thank you so much, Sammy.
yeah, absolutely. And thank you again for having me.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. This is great. This is great. Um, I haven't seen any questions come in for a while, so we're I think we're good unless you had anything else.
That's it. I'm just,
Okay. Great.
everyone stay watching and happy Halloween.
Yes. Yes. Great. 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 Then I'm going to go ahead and I'm gonna let you go, and then I'm going to just sign off with some folks here. And but I really appreciate it. I really this was really great, and we'll yeah, hopefully we'll be able to get back to some theater soon, and we'll see you at falls.
Perfect. Awesome.
Great.
Thank you,
Great.
Mark.
Thanks very much, Sammy.
Bye.
All right. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Thanks so much for all the questions and comments. Like I said, this wraps up our Halloween spooktacular that we've been doing all throughout the month of October. I hope you guys have really enjoyed this. This is obviously a little bit different for us. This is kind of our first foray into online content, but we're gonna try to keep doing some stuff. We've actually got an announcement coming up this weekend, I believe, about what we're going to be doing in November. So I hope you guys tune in for that. And for now, like Sammy said, please be safe out there, and we will see you next time. Thanks. Bye, everyone.